Tav X, Hebrews, purity and becoming one. That's what the nation of Israel needs. Purity and becoming one. Tav X, which you will also will be seeing a Tav X right over America on April the 8th. I'm definitely not going to stop talking about that, family. Even though a lot of Hebrews going to tell y'all eclipses don't mean anything. You looking too much into it. You paying attention to it too much. Even though in the Torah, the law, the very first book, it tells you that the lights in the heavens are for signs. But when you try to read these signs, Hebrews are going to come up with all kind of stuff about you. They're going to say you're into witchcraft. I told y'all this was going to happen. Necromancy, all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff. I can't make this up, Hebrews. Y'all see the title of this video. Today, I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to try to keep this. I'm not going to rush through it, but I'm definitely not trying to keep you long. You guys, I don't even really have that long, but I wanted to come speak to you guys today, okay? I'm going to wait till about, I usually give it like 5 minutes to see if anybody's going to come up in here. If nobody comes up in here, I guess it'll just be me. And it looks like we got one person in here right now. I guess it'll just be me and you. Everybody who sees this video, whether you're on the live, on the playback, hope you all are having a marvelous day. Hope the Most High is smiling upon you. All praises to the mighty one of Jacob. It's a wonderful time to be alive, family. It is a wonderful time to be alive. In the end days, in the last days. It's going to give it about 3 more minutes, family, to see if anybody comes in here. In Hebrews, as you're coming in, that's whether you're on the live stream or you watching on the playback, because many of us are busy out there. I understand that. And we're still in captivity, Hebrews. So, of course, a lot of us are busy out there. Hebrews, this is what I want y'all to do. I want you guys to grab a pen and grab a pad. I want you to write these scriptures down that I'm going to bring out to make sure I'm not lying. I tell you guys all the time, don't believe me. Don't believe anybody. You guys better go out there and you better do your own research for yourself. Because guess what? Ain't no man or no woman gonna die for you out here. You're gonna die for yourself. Okay? You better go out and you better do your own homework and you better do your own research. Don't believe a thing that I say. You need to verify what I'm saying. Yashabam says, what's going on, brother? All praises. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yashabam. Forgive me, brother, if I'm butchering your name. Shalom to you, Yashabam. Okay, you say I'm right. All praises, brother. Nicole Sinclair. Tavex to you. Purity and becoming one. Good to see you in here, as always. Family, I'm going to give it about 60 more seconds, and then we're going to begin to get into what we're talking about. Y'all saw the title. You saw the thumbnail. Somebody out there right now is probably scratching their head saying, what's that red funny book he was just holding up? What's that? Some of you right now, you're absolutely repulsed and repelled by that thumbnail. because at least according to the church and a lot of these camps out here, they say that we're not supposed to be reading that book. That's what a lot of people are going to tell you. That's what a lot of men and women are going to tell you. Okay? This is the book y'all saw right here. This is the book you saw in the thumbnail right here. And believe it or not, Hebrews, I know a lot of you guys out there are going to hate me sorely for this. But guess what? It's the end times, and this truth is coming out, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it, family. This is what it is. Yashabam says, did you catch the Hebrew on the island? He proved that the Jasher got contradictions in it. Okay, I'm about to talk about that. 1 second, brother Yashabam. But you guys, y'all see this? This is called the Apocrypha, okay? In this land that we live in, we speak English, Hebrews. Do we not? The majority of us speak English. Did you know that the very first time that the Holy Bible was translated into English, that all of these books were there? Did you know that, Hebrew? I want to know how many Hebrews out there understand the fact that when the Bible got translated into English for the very first time in the year 1619, that this was a part of it? Guess when they decided to take it out? In the year 1885. Okay? Why'd they decide to take it out? Okay? You got to understand, you're dealing with the devil that the Bible speaks of. These people have been adding to the scriptures, and they've been taking away from the scriptures. Why you think the Most High told us don't add or take away? Because he knew they would do just that. Okay? Now, you guys, before we get started, I have to say something right here. Hebrew on the island too, you are my elder, okay? This is what I want to tell you. This is literally the truth, elder. And I pray to the Most High that you believe what I'm telling you, because I would not lie. Not only would I not lie about something like this, I'm not going to come on here and lie to you, and I'm not going to lie to the brothers and sisters, okay? To anybody watching this video right now, know that everything that I'm getting ready to tell you is the truth, okay? This goes for you too, elder. I'm talking to you right now specifically, but for anybody who saw your video that you made, who saw the video that I made, this is real, elder. I woke up this morning probably at about, I don't know, maybe it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, somewhere in there, I don't know. I was kind of groggy, right, because I was getting ready to go into captivity. And then I saw that you was live. I kid you not, elder, Hebrew on the island too. Soon as I saw you going live, I'm like, oh, snap, bet. I get to listen to the elder as I'm getting dressed to go to captivity. But I couldn't help when I saw the video title. I said, it says the elder puts an end to the book of Jasher. I said, you know what? I did mention the book of Jasher yesterday. I said, you know what? Just off the title alone, I said, you know what? It sounds like he might be talking about what I was talking about. So I not chimed in. I clicked in, right? And I definitely watched the video, right? And what I gathered from that video, elder, you think that I was talking about you, and this is what I'm going to tell you, elder. I'm not going to lie to you. I was talking about you when I said your name. You even said it. At the very beginning of the video, when I go like this, Tav X, I say that. I learned that from you, and you know that. I know that. But I guess whoever my subscribers or whoever, they don't necessarily know that. Why did I tell them that? Because I know that was the truth and I learned it. I don't have any problem telling somebody where I learned something from. I learned that from you. And then the rest of that video, I kid you not, elder, I wouldn't lie to you. Had absolutely nothing to do with you, elder. I went about bringing out the scriptures like I always do, okay? This is the honest to the Most High truth right here for you, elder, and for everybody else out there. Because you got to be transparent when you're dealing with the Most High's people, because the Israelites are the apple of the Most High's eye, as you said. And I will, and I do apologize to you if you felt though I was sneak dissing you, elder, because I heard you say that I was sneak dissing you. And so I had to say something about it. Number one, I respect all of my elders, even if they're worldly. How much more do a man of the Most High I respect such as yourself. Now, me and you obviously have some disagreements in what you believe or what I believe. There is some slight disagreements. I'm sure you're going to call them major. I say one thing. I agree that we ought to be keeping the Torah. And other than that, I don't tell anybody what they can or what they can't read. But here's what I'm saying. That whole entire video when I went live yesterday had nothing to do with you, Elder. But I see you took offense to the part when I said, I told the Israelites, don't listen to nobody telling you not to read this, not to read that. Elder, like I said for the umpteenth time, I was not thinking of you. I was not talking. That video had nothing to do with you. That video was not directed at you, Elder. The one part was directed at you when I said Tav X, and I told everybody where I got that from because I mentioned you. And maybe because I mentioned you, maybe that gave you the impression that I was talking about you throughout that video. Elder, I would not lie to you, and I wouldn't lie to the brothers and sisters on here. That video was not about you. Okay? And I apologize if you felt disrespected and you thought that I was sneak dissing you or outright dissing you, any of that. That's not what I was doing. And I had to say that before I go on to make this video. Because, number one, I'm not going to disrespect my elders. That's unlawful and that's unruly. And I'm definitely not going to disrespect a man of the Most High. Okay? And in my eyes, although some things we don't agree on, do I believe that Hebrew on the island too, you are a man of the Most High? I most certainly do. And I don't want to disrespect you. And I don't want to diss you, sneak diss you, or any other kind of diss with you. So if that's what you felt that I was making that video about you, Elder, I sincerely and I humbly apologize, Elder. Okay? And you're right. You were the first person to tell me about, you told me that there was the Most High and the Most High only. Okay? And that's what I've been on. And I've been on a rampant mission ever since I figured it out. But I know you also remember this too. Just because you said that, you told me that, but I didn't take your word for it, Elder. I never will tell an Israelite to take anybody's word for anything. You better get out here and you better search for yourself. The same way I had to search and find for myself. Everybody has to search and find for themselves, Elder. That's what that video was about yesterday, Elder. I wasn't dissing you or sneak dissing you. I would never do that because I respect you too much and I got too much love for you. And you taught me a whole lot. I would never do that, Elder. So I had to say that first before I make this video. Melissa Yisrael, blessings, fam. Good to see you up in here, Okay, family. Let me get a little lubrication, then we're going to get started. All right? Now check this out. As I told y'all, this book right here, a lot of people are going to hate me for bringing this out. Yeah, Yasha Bomb says, do you have a change of heart regarding that so-called book of Jasher after catching his video? Yo, Habashabam. I'm sorry, but Yashabam. I haven't read the book of Jasher. And you guys, I never said that I read the book of Jasher. But I do plan on going to read some of the book of Jasher. Because here's the thing. Why would I have a change of heart when Joshua is asking me about it? Joshua is asking the readers of the book of Joshua, anybody who reads the book of Joshua, the writer of the book of Joshua is asking the reader a question. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? That's what he's asking you. But you can't answer him because you never read the book of Jasher. Okay? We're going to read that. But I want you guys to see this. Because contrary to popular belief, even though the world's going to hate my guts, we already know the church hates this. Most Hebrew Israelites hate this. A lot of the camps hate this. A lot of the teachers in Israel, even the Tanakh, Torah only. And guys, you guys got to understand this. I understand this. We all are not going to agree. It's literally impossible for all of us to agree out there on every single thing. We got certain things that we got to agree on, okay? One is no other gods before the Most High, okay? No idolatry. It's the Most High and him only. We are to obey the Most High's commands and his commands only. Anything that's not a command from the Most High is a suggestion. Do you guys hear that? It's a suggestion. Doesn't matter where it's coming from. Me, the guy across the street, the girl around the corner. If it's not a command from the Most High, guess what? It's a suggestion. This book, whether you guys like it or not, when the Bible first got translated into English in 1619, this was there. What gave them the right to take it out? And when they gave it back to you, they made sure you had the New Testament also. See, but y'all don't want to deal with that, okay? Y'all don't want to deal with that. Let's get into it. How do we know what's allowed to be read and what's not allowed to be read? Because last time I checked, and somebody out there, please correct me if I'm wrong, the Christian church always tell you, don't read this, don't read that. We don't accept the Apocrypha. We don't accept the book of Enoch. We don't accept the book of Jasher. That's what the Christians will tell you. That's what the Catholics will tell you. Do you guys know anything at all about something called the doctrine of discovery? Have you ever heard of the doctrine of discovery? Is anybody out there not too lazy to look into the doctrine of discovery and what that is and what that did? Huh? We got to understand this, Hebrews. We got to understand this. Many of us don't have a clue as to what's really going on out here. Many of us don't have a clue as to real reality history out here. How is it that we all understand that we went into captivity multiple times, but we don't understand that when you go into captivity, that all your records and your writings get seized by your enemies? I'm talking to somebody out there. You guys out there, it really seems like a lot of people out there, a lot of Hebrews out there, I'm seeing this every day, y'all. Hebrews are acting like your records, your possessions don't get seized by your enemies when you go into captivity. I'm still waiting on anybody, whether you in here on this live, anybody watch on the playback. Can anybody out there tell me what the doctrine of discovery is? Do you guys even know about that? Have you ever heard of that? Okay, and if you haven't, I'm not saying that to belittle you. I'm saying that because you guys don't know. You really don't know nothing. Okay, and I'm seeing more and more and more. You guys, I've been telling you for weeks. I've been telling you guys for weeks about this eclipse that's coming up. But also, you got plenty of Hebrews out there telling you, oh, this eclipse don't mean nothing. This eclipse don't mean nothing. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Waste of time. Go on YouTube and see how many Hebrews are telling you that the eclipses don't mean anything. Even though in the Torah, the very first book, it tells you that the lights in the heavens are for seasons and signs. But when you read the signs, you know what they're going to say? You're doing sorcery. You're doing witchcraft. I've been telling y'all for weeks. When I started making a video about the numbers, okay? And look, check this out. A lot of you out there would actually rather that I just ignore these numbers. Like I went looking for these numbers. Many of our people out there, you guys, you really can't fathom the spiritual realm. You can't fathom spiritual power from the Most High. You can't fathom it. You can read about it, but when it actually shows up physically in your world, many of you guys can't take it out there. Just like I was in here the other day, I was on a live a couple of days ago. I don't remember what I said, but I made a statement. And the statement that I made was 100% true. It was something that cannot be debunked, undeniable. And I made a video about this before. There's something called sound confirmation, Hebrew. Whether you know about it or not, whether you believe in it or not, doesn't matter. Sound confirmation is when somebody, could be me, you, the girl around the corner, the guy up the street, somebody will make a statement. And it doesn't have to be biblical, but it can. The statement will just be, it doesn't matter what the topic is about. It'll be about something. Somebody will make a statement that is undeniably true. And then you'll hear a physical confirmation in the spirit realm. Like a glass will drop, a phone will start ringing, a door will slam, A dog will start barking. In this case, on the line, a door opened up. Literally, the door right behind me opened up. Okay? I can't make this up. But a lot of you guys will say, oh, see, it's witchcraft. You know why? Because you guys are actually, for real, a lot of you out there, you're scared of the power of the Most High. The only way you'll accept something spiritual, non-physical, is when you read about it. When it actually shows up in your physical world, many of you, you're going to cower out. Okay? Uncle Daniel told us in the book of Daniel, in the end times, knowledge is going to be increased. This knowledge is coming out, okay? And that's why the world is in the shape that it's in now, because we know we turning back to the Most High, even though you're going to get accused of doing all kind of stuff. And remember this, Hebrew, the closer you try to get to the Most High, the more people are going to say, you're a sorcerer, you're into witchcraft, you're a warlock. How long have I been saying this? And how do I know this, though? Because I worship the Most High and Him only. And I know that this present world today, none of us don't really know the Most High for real. We're just waking up, Hebrews. We're just waking up. We're just waking up. Melissa Yisrael says, growing up, my Methodist church told me not to read the Old Testament. Exactly. Just read the New Testament. So now I read everything, even the Apocrypha and Enoch. Exactly. All praises to the Most High, only Creator alone, says the Redeemer, says all praises to the Most High only. That's right. He says the Apocrypha is written in Greek, just like I'm reading the Old Testament right now, written in English, brother. When you go into captivity, the people who own you, they own your possessions. The word of the Most High was given to us, y'all. But guess what? We were given to the Gentiles as captives. So guess what? When a Gentile owns you, he owns everything that you own. So the Gentiles owned our records. They owned your Torah. Even though it wasn't theirs, they had it in their possession. Even though it don't belong to them, they had it in their possession, and nobody can deny that. So yeah, the Apocrypha was written in Greek, just like right now, the Old Testament I'm reading written in English. Translations. Everything we reading today is a translation. Because guess what? Everything that anybody today watching this video, if you're reading anything today, that's a translation, Hebrew. Did you know that? All praise to the Most High Creator. Brother, I don't deal with Greek writings either. But check this out. What if I said I don't deal with American writings? How would I be able to read the Old Testament? How would I be able to read the Torah if I said, hey, I don't deal with English writings. I don't deal with this. I wouldn't be able to read it if it wasn't in English. You know how many Israelites out there that were in the captivity of the Greeks? If it wasn't written in Greek, they wouldn't be able to read it. If the Old Testament wasn't written in English, you wouldn't be able to read it, brother. See, guys, that's what I'm saying, guys. We're not really putting the pieces together. When you go into captivity, your whole life and everything that you own goes to the other guy who got you in captivity. Now, he owns it all. He owns it all. Anybody coming in here right now, you're just getting here. If you're just now coming through the door, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, hit the bell and subscribe, okay? But only if you want to hear the truth, not my words, the Most High, okay? Even though people will tell you I'm doing other stuff, we're going to read the scriptures and I'll let you guys see for yourselves, okay? Because we know one thing about the majority of the Hebrews out there. That's the majority of Hebrews out there. When you start bringing out stuff like this, or the Hebrews run for the hills. And plus they get very angry because this goes against what the church teaches. It goes against what the Hebrew camps teaches. It goes against basically what the entire earth teaches. Don't look over there. Don't read this. Don't read that. Don't read this. Well, guess what? This is how I decide what I'm going to read. And I advise you to do the same for yourself. Because guess what? Ain't nobody going to die for you out there. You're going to die for yourself. JC is written in the Apocrypha. Hey, okay, well, guess what? Listen to this. This is how anybody out there who want to say, don't read this, don't read that. Hebrew, if you are on the fence out there, because guess what? You ain't always gonna have a man there to coach you. So this is what you need to know, okay? And contrary to what you guys may believe out there, anybody out there, you getting it from the horse's mouth. I'm an Old Testament only kind of guy, okay? Torah, Tanakh only, okay? Now here's the issue. You guys out there are swearing and betting your life that you have the complete Torah and the complete Tanakh. Even though you know that you went into captivity multiple times, some kind of way, people act like that you don't understand when you go into slavery, your possessions don't belong to you no more. And nobody on this chat still answered my question yet. I asked every brother and sister out there, do any of you out there know what the doctrine of discovery is and how that works? Because if you don't, you need to look into it, okay? Maybe you'll have a little more understanding on why everybody wants to tell you, don't read this, don't read that. Hazelwood's Doctrine of Discovery provided framework for Christian explorers in the name of their sovereign to lay claim to territories uninhabited by Christians. All praises to the mighty one of Jacob for you bringing that out, sis. Yes, I've been asking that for a few minutes. So far, nobody would say anything, okay? That lets me know that you guys did not know that. And that's not a knock on you, but that's just to let you know you don't understand. And because you don't understand what the doctrine of discovery is, you don't know that was set up by the Roman Catholic Church, Pope Nicholas V, okay? And he set it up through the Roman Catholic Church and European regular non-religious people to go worldwide and to find every country and nation that is not ruled by Christian leaders, and they were commanded to take that country, seize that land, put the people into slavery, force them to be Christians, and tell them, you're going to read this and only this, what I say, or you're going to be killed. Doctrine of discovery. That's where a lot of these Hebrews, Christians, Messianics, non-Messianics, that's where a lot of our people get that stuff from. Don't read this, don't read that. And you know what? Now, how many of you Hebrews out there watching this video right now are going to be, you don't have to say nothing on here, but admit to yourself that you did not know what the doctrine of discovery was, that you were completely unaware of the ramifications of it. You're still completely unaware from it because you haven't looked into it. And most of the Hebrews out there, you're too lazy, weak, and you're afraid of knowledge. Even though Daniel told you knowledge was going to increase. You guys, I'm not taking nothing to chance. I'm going with what the Most High said, okay? Period. All praise to the Most High alone. Creator alone says, I read for myself. I don't follow the... It's cutting it off, brother. I can't read all the way over there. I don't know why it's cutting it off. I don't follow the something. Reprove brothers like stop saying the... I don't know. It's cutting off your sentences. All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone. I don't know why it won't let me read. Hazelwood says, Shalom, family. Melissa Yisrael says, who know what the enemy has tampered with, but we need to pray and let Yah lead us to what's true. All praises to the mighty HQ. Hold up. All praises to the mighty all praises to the Most High, only Creator alone. Says Melissa, you're a heathen, not of Israel. Yo, Hashabam says JC is mentioned in 2nd Esdras. All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone. Says, yeah, I bet. Okay, well, you see I'm reading whatever's up here. I'm going to read whatever y'all put up here, okay? Now, I saw, where did it say it? Where is that? I'm looking for something. Where is it? All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone, says the Redeemer. Melissa, you're a heathen, not of Israel. That's what all praise to the Most High, only Creator alone said. All right? And this is what I'll say to that. I'm not going to lie. On the outside, if I was just looking at her, yeah, she would look like the so-called heathen, what we would call that, right? But do we know for sure. Do you know who her father is? I don't know who her dad is, okay? I don't know who her dad is. And anybody's going to say that, right? I'm not saying she is. I'm not saying she ain't. But I'm asking you, do you know who her father is? Are you aware of in the Torah of how to handle situations like that? When you scattered amongst the nations and the Israelites go out and they actually had sex with the other nations. Doesn't it say something in Deuteronomy, something about the third generation? Okay? Because the Most High is after the sperm of Israel. You know what? We're going to go into that another time too. We will go into that another time too. He's after the sperm of Israel. Okay? Hazelwood says, strangers will be joined with us too. Remember that, people. Hey, it's a lot of stuff we got to consider. Because you know what? There was one time, I'm not going to lie. If I would have saw somebody that looked like Melissa, the first thing I would have started raining down on her with all kind of stuff. I'm not going to lie. But you know what? The Most High has showed me. All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone. The Most High has showed me. Sometimes you got to step back. The Most High knows how to sort who out and what's what. All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone says, she's a heathen, bro, from the line of... See, bro, I'm not making it up. It's cutting it off again. It's saying, you said she's a heathen, bro, from the line, and I just see an O. It cuts off after the O. I'm assuming you're saying of, but it cuts off. It doesn't allow me to see it, bro. Melissa Israel says, I don't know my father. All I know is Yah told me who I am. Okay. Melissa Israel says, Yah told me. Okay. And you know what? I'm definitely not going to argue with her about that. Now, brother, if you want to argue with her about that, I guess that'll be between you and her or you and the Most High. But I do know this. I do know that there are going to be people who look like they're not Israel who are going to be Israel. I do know that for sure. Stop assuming what line anyone comes from. We don't know, says Hazel Woods. Yes. And see, like I said, the reason, brother, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not going to just, come down on you and bash you, because I remember myself at one time, I was definitely in that same mind frame. If I saw anybody who didn't look just like me, I was like, you know what? They a heathen, they this, they that. Because look, we understand this. For the most part, do the heathens look like the other nations? They do. But are there exceptions where they're going to be Israelites who also look like the other nations? But you don't know what seed they come from, what sperm. That's all I'm saying, right? But I'm reading all these comments. Okay, all praise to the Most High, only Creator alone says, you're not Israel. All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone says, I've been Most High only longer, THA, and it says TH. I'm assuming it says Dan. Okay. But family, let me get into these readings, all right? You guys, you can read these chats. You guys can talk amongst each other, but I'm about to get into these scriptures. Melissa Israel said, that's fine. I love y'all only and y'all people. All praises to the Most High. Hazelwood says, we come here to learn. Please don't come here with contention. I will have to leave this chat. Tired of this. Got you. All right, well, Hebrews, this is what y'all can do. Y'all can keep talking in the chat, or you can listen to these scriptures. I'm about to bring out these scriptures, okay? we about to see what's going on. This is how you know if you should be reading something or not. This is what this should be your measuring stick right here. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. What I'm reading right now, this is what you better listen to. And if you don't, you're going to be killed by the Most High. Straight up. The book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 20. Hebrews, write this down. Okay? Write this down, Hebrews. The book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Hebrews, did y'all hear that? I'm gonna have to read it one more time. In Hebrews, please do this. Everybody out there, I want you to get a pen and a pad. Get a pen and a pad and listen to these scriptures. Go back and read them to make sure I'm not just like your pastor. To make sure I'm not just telling you what I want to tell you. This is coming out of the Tanakh. I told you guys around here. This channel right here is for people who worship the Most High and Him only. We believe in keeping the Most High's commandments, okay? And the Most High's commandments only. Let me see. Let me see, family. Okay, I had to delete that message, brother. Brother, we not in here using profanity right now, brother. That's not what we doing. Hanai Yasserah says, Shalom, family. This is how you guys know, or this is how you should know, because look, if you believe the Torah and the Tanakh, then you shouldn't have no problem with what I'm reading right here. If you believe the Torah and the Tanakh, you shouldn't have a problem with what I'm reading right now. The book of Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Okay? Do you guys know what the law and the testimony is? The law are the commandments. The law are the commandments. You know what the testimony is? Anything outside of the commandments that's in the Old Testament. Okay? But here's the problem, Hebrews. Once again, and see, you guys, I know many of you, you're not going to be honest. I asked you a question when this video started. I asked how many of you people knew what the doctrine of discovery was? Right? I asked how many people knew what the doctrine of discovery was, and what did I get? Crickets. The only person that said something was Sister Hazel. Okay, let me read some of these. Hanai Yazarah says, Shalom, family. Yashabam says, at Melissa Yisrael, do you fit all the curses of Deuteronomy 28? Melissa Yisrael says, yes, I do. Yahweh's portion says, trust me, Ak, ain't nobody going to write no scripts down and go back. They won't think about nothing you said after this video, even if it's to prove it wrong. Most only go to their own opinion. Facts, Yahweh's portion. Todd X to you, brother. Always good to see you in here. Hazelwood said, well, the Most High has spoken to me. Does that make me a lie? All praise to the Most High, only creator alone says, no, you do not, blue eyes. Yahweh only. Disclaimer, I only read the Torah. All good, brother. All praise to the Most High, only creator alone. Obviously, you don't read enough. Or at Hazelwoods. Melissa Yisrael says, I'm leaving so Mr. Real Talk can teach. Hey, this is crazy. Hey, look, you guys, this is what I'm going to tell you right now. Anybody that's on here right now, don't you leave. This is what you need to do. What if you guys want to leave, then that's how the enemy wins. That's how evil wins. I'm bringing out the words of the Most High right now, family. Anybody watching this live, don't leave. Choose not to engage with the live. Listen to these scriptures that I'm reading to you guys, and I want you to see for yourself, okay? Because I've been telling you for weeks, at some point, people are going to start saying that you're doing witchcraft, you're doing this, you're doing that. People want you to stay within the lines that they believe. The very second you say, you know what, I don't believe everything that you believe, yours is over here, mine is a little over here. You say that in the Hebrew community, now you're the devil the Bible speaks of. Now you're wicked. People, listen to these scriptures, okay? Listen to these scriptures, period. Don't bear false witness, I'm evil. What? Brother, did I say you was evil? I said that's how evils win. When people don't want to hear the words of the Most High, then that means something evil is causing that. I didn't say you, brother. Brother, don't start that. Don't start that. Anybody out there watching this video on this live, listen to the words that I'm getting ready to read. Stop being so busy trying to type. If you want to type, go ahead. But don't let that distract you from these words, okay? Don't let that distract you from this. Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because they have no light in them. The law is the commandments. The testimonies is all the other writings in the so-called Old Testament, right? Now, once again, it's a shame that I got to keep on saying this. You guys are acting like when you guys, and I know you're smarter than this, but for some reason you're acting like you don't know when you go into slavery. Everything you own goes to the other guy. You guys don't understand that? Is there anybody here that does not understand that? Huh? Is there anybody here that does not understand that when you go into slavery, everything that you own goes to the other guy, including your Torah? Why you think the Most High put in there? Don't add or take away. He knew the heathens would do it, and then he told you about it. But you're still going to say that this is evil. It's evil, huh? Well, watch this. Watch this. And write these down, please, even though I know most of y'all probably not going to do it. Just like the brother said, y'all not going to write it down. Because most Hebrews are too lazy. You don't want to study for real. You want to just take somebody's word. I don't want you to take my word. What if I'm lying to you? Then what? You think I came on here to play around with my life? Because if I lie to the children of Israel, guess whose life I'm playing with? I'm playing with your life and I'm playing with mine. Okay? Yeah, House Portion says, yo, if you read the Apocrypha after coming out of the New Testament and don't agree, that's suitable. But most people don't even have the Torah down, and I bet most people said New Testament fake. Okay, Apocrypha 2. Yup, you right, brother. You're absolutely right. That's why I'm going to read some of these scriptures out of this so-called Apocrypha, and I'm going to let you guys judge for yourself. Because guess what? In the end, you're going to have to answer for yourself. No man or woman is going to die for you like the New Testament claims. You're going to live or you're going to die on your own. So check this out. I told you, how do you know if you can read something? Because the whole world is going to tell you don't read this. The whole world is going to tell you don't look at Enoch. Don't look at the book of Jubilees. The whole world is going to tell you that. Yahweh's portion says, I'm not defending it. I'm just speaking facts. I got you, Ak. It's all good, brother. And I understand everything you're saying, and I agree with everything you're saying, brother. Check this out, family. To know if you should be reading something, here's how you know. Isaiah 8:20. Everything that you're going to read, you should filter it through the lens of Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there's no light in them. So any book you can read. Guess what? I don't care when the book came out. I don't care when the book came out. How you know if it's true? Oh, easy. Start reading. And when you get to a part that does what? That does not agree with the law and the testimonies, you throw it out. You guys see how easy that is? But see, that will only be easy for somebody who's Torah and Tanakh only. You got to keep the Most High's commandments. You got to strive to keep his commandments. You got to understand, like the elder in Hebrew on the island 2 always says, you got to pass Hebrew 101 first. Okay? In Hebrews, there was a time where I wouldn't dare read any other book on this channel because I know that the majority of Hebrews out there, they're never going to pass Hebrew 101. But you know what? We getting to a point now, and it's clear clearly we're at that point now. It's time to bring books out. Not because I say so, because the Most High says so. The Most High does everything in his own timing, you guys. Yahweh's portion says, I'm just throwing out that disclaimer because before you know it, they'll be saying, his will is real going off. I knew he was wicked. You're absolutely right, Art. I know a lot of people are saying that about me right now, and I get it. Because like I said, I've been knowing this for weeks. I've been saying it for weeks. The closer you get to the Most High, the more you're going to be demonized, family. So just prepare for that. In case you guys didn't know out there, it's the same that we got to disclaimers and all that. But that's how it is, because most of you guys, you never heard of the doctrine of discovery before. And even after hearing about it now on this live, you're not going to go research because you're too lazy and you don't want to learn. Many of you out there have closed your eyes. You've learned and you've learned and you've learned and you came to a certain point and then you said, okay, I got enough now. I can't learn no more. I don't want to learn no more. I'm not accepting any more knowledge. You know what? Shame on you, Hebrew, whoever you may be, wherever you may be out there. Okay? I'm not down with that program. I'm scrapping and clawing after the Most High ever since I found out the error of my ways, and I'm going to continue to do that. I'm concerned about pleasing the Most High. I'm not going to come on here and play with my life by lying to you guys. Check this out, though. Once again, everything you read, filter it through Isaiah 8 and 20. And check this out. Check this out, Hebrews. We're going to go to 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and 48. 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and 48. I hope that somebody out there is writing this down. If you're not going to write it down, at least come back later and listen. 1 Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48. Listen to this, Hebrew. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. Did y'all hear that out there? Did you guys hear that out there? You know what? I know you guys heard it, but I'm going to read it again to make sure it's sinking in. The book of Maccabees. Why don't you? Somebody scratching their head right now saying, book of Maccabees, where is that at in the Bible? The oppressor, the so-called white man, took this out in 1885. Your friendly neighborhood Christian so-called white man decided to take this out. That's why when I say the book of Maccabees, 1 Maccabees 3 and 48, a lot of y'all scratching your head like, what's he talking about? This is what I'm talking about. One of the books, just one of the books that the whole world is going to tell you guys not to read. I'm not going to tell you what to read. I'm going to tell you how to decode what you read. And I'm just repeating what Uncle Isaiah said. Isaiah 8 and 20. If it's not according to the law, not according to the testimony, then throw it out. That's where you can, that's how you're able to spot the infiltrations. That's how we knew that the New Testament was fake. Because it didn't line up. Okay? But guess what? It's mostly lies in the New Testament. Are there a few truths over there? Of course there are. But how do I know that, though? I only know that because I know what's true is in the Old Testament, is in the Torah and the Tanakh. So there are very, very, very little parts in the New Testament that agree with the Torah and Tanakh, and I admit and say it's true. I don't care where it's at. Truth is truth, and it's undefeated, you guys. Nobody can stop this. Nobody's going to stop this. That's what the doctrine of discovery is about. Trying to stop this. And you guys still not going to admit it. I know you guys not going to admit you didn't even know what the doctrine of discovery was before I told you guys. You didn't know. And I see Nicole Sinclair says, at Melissa, don't leave. I don't know exactly what's going on in the chat. Melissa, if you are in here, do not leave, okay? Because guess what? Like I said, I'm not going to lie. There was one point in my walk, right, where I would have said, yeah, as soon as I saw somebody look like Melissa, I'd have been like, she the devil, the Bible speaks of, da 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 da. Because I know what the so-called Europeans have done, right? And the so-called Europeans, they are the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? But the Most High has brought me to a point. I didn't always understand this, but I do now, that there are going to be some Israelites that don't look like Israelites, okay? And remember, Hebrews, it took me a while. That's why I didn't bash the brother when he started going in. I didn't bash him because I do understand his train of thought. We're not supposed to congregate with the Gentiles, with the heathens. I get it. But I also came to the understanding that there are going to be Israelites out there because we've been surrounded by the other nations and we mixed in with some of them. There are going to be Israelites out there, believe it or not. Some of them are going to look white. Some of them might look Chinese. But you know what? Because it's not about the skin tone, it's about the sperm. Just calm down for a minute, Hebrew, and just think about that. The Most High keeps on telling us the seed, the seed, the seed, the seed, the seed, the sperm, the sperm, the sperm. Okay? The Most High is after the sperm that comes out of the house of Israel. Some of that sperm left the house of Israel and went into other nations. And like I said, if I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere in the book of the law. In Deuteronomy, it goes into detail about how to deal with that. Some of them, I think it says up to the third generation. So we're meaning what? If somebody go, because there are examples in the Torah, in the Tanakh, where the father was an Israelite, but the kid was from another nation, but the kid still got counted as an Israelite. Maybe one day I'll come on here and we'll read about that, where the father was an Israelite, had sex with somebody outside of the nation, but since that seed came from the father, they were still treated as an Israelite and able to even rule. We'll go into that another time, okay? But all praise to the Most High Creator alone, brother. You my brother. I'm not dissing you. I'm not going to bash you at all because I do understand what you're coming from. But I do understand the Most High is after the seed. The Most High knows what tribe everybody is from. And look, let's go out on the deep end, right? Let's say Melissa is not an Israelite. Let's say she is a heathen. Let's say she is a Gentile. And it took me a while to get to this point too, to accept the fact that it did. I know it's hardly any, but there's a very small amount of Gentiles out there who are actually going to cleave to the Israelites, and they're actually going to try to keep the commandments of the Most High. So I'm not saying I know everything, because I know enough to know this. I don't know anything. That's why I got to constantly read and study and stay connected to the Most High and his laws. That's what gives us wisdom, the Most High's laws. But I'm going to read this again. Listen to this, Hebrews. For anybody out there that want to say, oh, man, the Bible's a white man's book. They did this, they did that. Check this out. The book of First Maccabees 3 and 48. I'm reading it again. 3 and 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. So guess what, Hebrews? Whether you guys admit it or not, I know you know it. The heathens had this. Okay? Even though you want to claim that's not a part of the Bible, it is. And guess what? Even this. Yes, the book of Isaiah. Guess what? The heathens had that in their possession. Just like at one time, the heathens had the literal Ark of the Covenant in their possession. When these heathens are waging war on you, and all the heathen nations have waged war on us, Psalms 83, all the nations are confederate. They all got bits and pieces of our artifacts, books, and records. If you want to think for 1 second that you got every single thing that was written by our people, nah, absolutely not. No way. Do you know how many book burnings these people did, y'all? Do you know how many book burnings that these people have done? Like I said, you guys still won't admit, that you didn't know what the doctrine of discovery was because you won't do your research, okay? I just read to you, they laid open the book of the law to place their images. That's why everybody thinks that the Most High is white. That's why everybody thinks that the Israelites are white, because they put your black behind in slavery, seized all your records, and then they what? They wrote stuff in, and they put pictures in, and they wrote stuff in, and they also took stuff out. That's why the Most High said, don't add or remove, but they did this. The Most High knew that they would do this, okay? And you guys, I know a lot of you guys don't like that. But guess what? That's tough, okay? And I got to do this. Let me go to this. Because since we breaking out the books now, because it's time for that now. It is time for that. Sister Hazel Woods, I don't know if you're still on here right now. I hope that you're on here right now, somebody that knows the book of Enoch. We're going to prove to you guys that there's more books out here than what the world is telling you. A couple of weeks ago, I made a video a couple of days ago about how it was like 4 or 5 days in a row that I keep seeing the sun and the moon out at the same time. 4 or 5 days in a row, that's a little bit much, and no, that is not normal, okay? And to speak of it, today, the sun and the moon been out all day long, all day, okay? I've seen the sun and the moon out before now when I look back on it as a kid, and it was always something very strange, because it was out of place. The Most High created the sun and the moon to separate the day from the night. So what's going on? Huh? I made a live talking about that the other day. And guess what? I said, I don't know what that means, but I knew something wasn't right. And then Sister Hazel Woods came out and she put the book of Enoch, chapter 80. I think it was verse 2 or something like that. It was in the first few verses of the book of Enoch, chapter 80. Sister Hazel Woods, I don't know if you're still in here right now. If you are, could you please post those scripts in the live chat right now? I don't know if you're still here. Maybe you are. But why did I bring that up? The Most High made her post those scripts in the chat. I was going live saying how I knew that you guys out there, you tell me that the sun and the moon being out at the same time during the day for 4 or 5 days in a row. You tell me that that's normal, Hebrew. You telling me that that's normal? Anybody out there who said that that's normal, I know that you're not an observant person if you say that. Right? But then if I ask you, because you can't lie and say that that's normal because you know that's not normal. You know it. But if I ask you, what does that mean? You're going to say, I don't know. It don't mean nothing. Nothing to see. It don't mean nothing. Even though you know that's not normal for the sun and the moon to be out like that. But Sister Hazel Woods came with Enoch chapter 80. I can't remember what verse. It was in those first couple of verses. And it said that it would be in these times, in the end times, the times of the sinners, when people are going to be judged, that the moon would not keep her place. Okay? Nobody else could answer me and tell me why the sun and the moon was out for 4 or 5 days in a row at the same time. Just like nobody can tell me why the sun and the moon has been out today all day. You know what they'll try to tell me? Oh, it don't mean nothing. That's normal. I've seen it before. Yeah, you've seen it before. Have you seen it 4 or 5 days in a row, though? And to be honest, how do I know that the sun and the moon ain't been out every single day since those videos I made? Because it's been cloudy just about every day. They spraying chemtrails. It's cloudy just about every day. How do I know that the sun and the moon ain't been out every single day? But you're going to say, oh, don't read this, don't read that. The whole world teaches you don't read this, don't read that. The book of Enoch said, chapter 80, the book of Enoch, chapter 80, in those first couple of verses, it tells you. Okay? You guys, you got to stop listening to what the world is telling you. You guys actually got to break out of the Roman Catholic Church. You got to distance yourself from the doctrine of discovery. And you guys, you still won't admit that you had no idea what the doctrine of discovery was. Many of you never heard of it. And even though now I'm telling you about it, you know what you're going to say? Oh, that don't mean nothing. Okay. You can go ahead, keep that same Christian mindset. You're going to, every time knowledge comes out, you ignore it and say it doesn't mean anything. Well, let's see if this means something. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, right? Because we are a Torah and Tanakh only channel over here. But you know what the problem is, Hebrews? You think, here's what it is. Obviously, you guys are putting your faith and trust in the Gentiles because you believe that even though they put you in slavery and took all your records, including your Torah and your Tanakh, you believe that they gave it back to you completely unscathed. That's what you guys think. Okay? That's what you guys think. You trust the heathens. You trust the Gentiles. Yeah, they put you in slavery. They took all your records. But then they said, you know what? I'll give them all back. I'm not going to mess with it. Even though I just read the book of Maccabees. First Maccabees. What was it? First Maccabees chapter 3 and 48. The Most High knew this was going to happen. That's why the Most High gave his disclaimer. I'm going to trust the Most High. Are you going to trust the Most High with his disclaimer in First Maccabees 3 and 48? Listen to this. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1 through 2. Listen, Hebrew. Deuteronomy chapter 4, 1 through 2. Now, therefore, hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you. Okay? Verse 3. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Lord thy God have destroyed them from among you. Okay? You want to follow other gods other than Yahweh, Yahweh only, you're going to be destroyed. Okay? Let's check this out. Turn with me, Hebrew. Turn with me to the book of Baruch, coming out of the so-called Apocrypha, which is a part of the Holy Scriptures, okay? But you know who's the very first person to tell you, you know who the very first person is to tell you that this is not acceptable? It's the Pope. The Pope is the very first person to tell you, don't read this. We don't accept this. This is a forgery. It's not of the Most High. The book of Baruch, chapter 3, and verse 14. Learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding, that thou mayest know also where is length of days and life, and where is the light of the eyes and peace. This is out of the Apocrypha right here. Now, we're going to stay in the Apocrypha. Okay? I want you guys to turn with me to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Not Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiasticus. It's in the Apocrypha. This was in the Bible, okay? For a very, very long time, all the way till 1885. But the so-called white man decided to take it out, okay? And since he said don't read it, many of you say, okay, I won't read it. Since the European colonizers went worldwide with the doctrine of discovery and told you, don't read this, most of you said, okay, I won't read it. That's where that originally comes from. I know everybody's saying it now. Everybody tells you don't read it now because the whole world is compliant with the European colonizers. Even when we think we're not, anybody out there telling you not to read this, they're getting that because that's what the Roman Catholic Church told them when they came worldwide with the doctrine of discovery. But you guys are still too lazy to go look up the doctrine of discovery. You don't want to know. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 1, verse 1. Listen to this. This, Jesus, was the son of Sirach. So get that through your skull right now. No, this is not JC. Unlike the New Testament tells you there's no other name under heaven. No, this Jesus or Jesus is actually a very common Spanish, Roman, whatever you want to call it, name. And it's telling you who it's talking about. No, it's not talking about JC. But see, you guys out there so wicked and you won't read, so you don't know. It tells you who it's talking about. This Jesus was the son of Sirach. Okay? And grandchild to Jesus of the same name with him. This man therefore lived in the latter times. So, Doc, these writings are so small, y'all. Hold on, family. Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna have to read it to y'all. Y'all know what I started reading? I started reading. They give you the whole backdrop right here in the Apocrypha, exactly who this is talking about. So when you guys like to say, "Oh, see, it's talking about JC," no, it's not. But listen, Israel, I'm here. Okay. All praise to the Most High Creator alone. Damn, bro, you love saying the name's commandment. Oh, maybe I'm missing something in the chat because I'm periodically peeking back in. But here's what I was reading, you got. What I'm reading out of the Bible, believe it or not. First time the Bible got translated into English, this was there. This didn't leave until 1885, and it left because the Roman Catholic Church made it leave. And you guys, you wanted to stay gone, but it ain't gonna stay gone. Nobody can stop this word from going out. They had us down for a season. They had us in captivity for a season. The 400 years is up. I saw one brother comment on the video, that's a bold proclamation. You're saying that the tithe is a 400. That's not a bold proclamation. That's merely an observation. The tithe, which I learned from Hebrew on the island too, that tithe X has a numerical value of 400. So it's not me proclaiming something. I'm observing what it is. That's a tithe. That's a tithe X that's going to be over America on April the 8th. Has a numerical value of 400. And according to the so-called white man himself, he started bringing niggas over here in 1619. Not my words. I'm just merely observing what the so-called white man has been rolling out. These are not my words, y'all. But I do know how to observe what I'm seeing. And I know that the Most High gave the lights in the heavens for signs, just like Genesis 1 and 14 told us. Okay? That's what it is, y'all. But I was reading the backdrop. I'm going to come on here and do that one day. Read the whole backdrop before I start reading so you can see exactly what this is talking about. So you can see why nobody wants you to read this. Here it is. The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 1. Listen up, Hebrew. Wisdom cometh from the Lord and is with him forever. This doesn't sound too bad to me. Sounds like a true statement to me. Sounds like a very true statement to me. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 19. Okay? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 19. Look, and right now, yes, we're going to stay right now in this book that people hate. Most Hebrew Israelites, they hate this book. You know, most Christians hate these books. Most Roman Catholics, they hate this book. The majority of people on planet Earth hate this book. They told you, don't look at that. Don't read that. That's why they took it out in 1885. But when they first translated it in English in 1619, this was in there. This ain't all that was in there. This ain't the only thing they took out. But see, you know what? You guys trust the Gentiles. You trust the heathens. I don't trust the heathens. I don't trust the other nations. I know that when they put us into slavery, they seized all our books. I know that they added stuff in and they took stuff out. I always thought that, and guess what? The book of Maccabees, First Maccabees 3 and 48 confirms that. You guys don't have to believe that. It's written in here because the Most High is a chess player. He's the ultimate chess player. You think he ain't going to let the children of Israel know to drop? He let us know that, so when we see stuff that's inconsistent in the scriptures, we got to remember, oh, Most High told us that the heathens sought to lay their images in our books. They were going to add and take away, okay? And they did just that. They did it, family. Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 20. Coming out of this. Hanai Yasserah, and you guys forgive me. You guys, there's so many chats in here. It's so much stuff going on in the chat. I see Hanai Yasserah says, laugh out loud. Our people seem to be on one today. Very lively, it seems. Yes. Hanai Yasserah says, our people should know about the doctrine of discovery, but they don't. It easily disproves the New Testament off gate. Exactly. And the doctrine of discovery shows you what kind of mindset that these Catholics and these Europeans were in when they colonized us, y'all. We still have not shaken off all of the colonization. That's why everybody's telling you, don't read this. Don't read the book of Jasher. Don't read the book of Enoch. Don't read the book of Jubilees. Don't read this. Your house forces says, no worries, just a spa match, laugh out loud. And y'all, I bet when I get finished reading these scriptures and I go back and read this chat, it's going to be off the hook. I'm sure I've missed a lot, but I'm peeking in every once in a while. I see it's a lot going on in this live chat. Hey, brothers and sisters, we are on one today. We on one, family. But see, that's what happens when you bring out these books, family. Family, How many of you guys are still going to be honest? Is anybody going to be honest and admit that they had no idea at all what the doctrine of discovery was? Because when I asked it, the only person that commented was Sister Hazel. Nobody else said nothing. So if you don't know about the doctrine of discovery, you're not going to know that that's who the originator is of don't read this, don't read that. That was them. They told you that. They told you to read something in the Tanakh and the Torah and to completely ignore it. They're the ones who told you when you read Genesis 1 and 14 and right out of the book of the law, Genesis first chapter tells you that the lights in the heavens are for signs. But the Europeans said, nah, that stuff don't mean nothing. And our people roll with that. Y'all know how many Hebrew Israelites I see? It's the majority of them telling you that this eclipse coming up don't mean anything. It's sad, y'all. The chat is definitely it's live. The chat is living up to his name. Live chat. Your house portion says, I said earlier, I heard about it, but like most Israelites, I never read it. Laugh out loud. Oh, okay. All praises, your house portion. That's what's up. So you guys, you got to understand how deep the doctrine of discovery goes. The doctrine of discovery involves something called the papal bull. There were several papal bulls drawn up by these rat bastards, these heathen, pagan, Gentile dogs. The Catholic Church, specifically Pope Nicholas V, drew up the first one, and then the multiple ones after that, telling the Europeans to go worldwide and anybody who's not worshiping Christ to take their land, take their country, take their government, put them in slavery, feed them Christianity, make them only accept these books, read this, nothing else, or they die. And we're still carrying that same, but you guys won't look. If you look into it, you'll see it. But even if you don't look into it, the Most High left these records for you. You got to be able to piece this together, Hebrew. You got to be able to piece this together, what we're doing right here. But check this out. Turn with me. We're going to stay in this book that y'all hate so much, that the whole earth hates that this is coming out. But nobody can stop it. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 39 and 1. Chapter 39 and 1. And I know many of you, I'm sure some of you have read this, some of you have heard this, but there are many of you out there, you've been scared off of chasing the Most High. You've been scared off of knowledge. Even though Daniel told you knowledge would increase, you've been scared off of this because the so-called white man took it out in 1885, and that's okay with you guys. That's okay with you guys out there because you believe that even though you got put into slavery again and again and again and again and again, that the heathens, they never tampered with the records. They never took nothing out or put nothing in. They wouldn't do anything like that, would they? They wouldn't withhold books back from you, would they? Shame on you for believing the Gentiles. Okay? The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. Hold up, Hebrews. Hold up, Hebrews. I thought all the Hebrews said that this book is wicked right here. I thought that the Christians said not to read this. I thought that the Hebrew Israelite camp said don't read this. Ecclesiasticus is a part of the scriptures. This ain't no New Testament stuff. Do this sound like New Testament stuff to you guys out there? Look, because a lot of you guys going to say I'm into witchcraft. Does this sound like witchcraft right here? Oh, Ak, you shouldn't be reading this, Ak. Only 66 books, Ak. Hey, Ak, only the Torah Tanakh, Ak. Does this sound like this is bucking against the Torah or the Tanakh right here? I'm going to read it again for you guys out there. Anybody out there got an honest bone in their body? What do you think about this? Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Huh. Yeah, it sounds real evil what I just read, right? This sounds like a book of sorcery, right? Now look, I just read Ecclesiastes 39 and 1. How do I know that that's true? How do I know if it's false? I already told you guys, but you guys don't listen. Isaiah 8 and 20, to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to the law and the testimony, that means that they are a liar. Now I'm asking you, yeah. Hey, Yahweh's portion, this is exactly what this is. Yahweh's portion says no cap. That almost sound like Isaiah 20 precept. Brother, this is exactly what this is. But everybody hates you for reading this. And the Roman Catholic Church, specifically Pope Nicholas V, he's the first one who told you don't read this. He's the first one who told you don't read this. You guys have not shaken off the ways of your oppressor. I'm trying to shake them off, okay? And why do you think this sounds so much like Isaiah 8 and 20? Because it is Isaiah 8 and 20. That's why you don't buck against this. Now, guess what happens when you read something in the Apocrypha that bucks against Isaiah 8 and 20? You throw it out. And you remember 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and 48. You guys, I know that you Hebrews see this out here. You can act like you don't see it if you want to. You're going to get this work, okay? The Most High wants this to come out, so it's coming out. Nobody can stop this. Pope Nicholas V, with his Doctrine of Discovery and all those papal bulls that he wrote, he can't stop this, even though he tried. Yasaban says, y'all can read them other books. I'll stick with the scriptures only to be safe. It got all the laws in it. Well, brother, this is a part of the scriptures, okay? This is a part of the scriptures. Yahweh's portion says, y'all know I'm on it. Disclaimer, I don't read the Apocrypha, laugh out loud, but I did while I was in the New Testament. So once again, when the Torah has been sealed in my mind, it's on too. I got you, brother. I feel you. And I only believe in the Torah, and I only believe in the Tanakh. And I realized that this is a part of it. This ain't nothing new, y'all. And look, once again, how do you know if you should read something or not? How do you know if something is permissible? And you guys, it's a shame we got to keep on giving disclaimers and saying this, but I got to give a disclaimer again. You guys, how many times you been in slavery? How many times have the other nations came out there and took your black behind in captivity? I know you guys are smart enough. You know that when you become a slave, everything you own is now owned by your oppressor. That means your wife is not your wife anymore. It belongs to your slave master. Your Torah ain't your Torah no more. It belongs to the slave master. Now look, even though it's still your Torah, you don't have it. Somebody else got their filthy, stinking hands all over your Torah. But you guys, you act like you don't know that. And I know you know that. You know what slavery entails, but you're still going to act like you don't understand. They took all of your holy writings, all of your Torah Tanakh. They took it and they held on to it. Just like they held on to you. They held on to your books. And they opened your books and they went in there and they said, you know what? We don't like this. Take this out. Hey, we want this. Put that in. That's what they did. Yahweh's portion said, I was liking up last night in the scripts how many times we've been in captivity. It's a dang shame. I can't get an exact number. Exactly, Ak. We've been in captivity too many times. All these nations got pieces of our histories. If you guys want to believe that you got the whole Torah and Tanakh, shame on you, Hebrews. If you want to believe that, you're going to believe that these are all the books because the so-called white man told you so? Because that's where you got your books from. Ain't nobody, for hundreds of years, nobody else has owned any printing presses. So you only got the books that the so-called white man agreed to print. And you think he gave you all the books. Well, if you guys want to believe the so-called Gentiles, you go right ahead. Hanai Yasharal says, looking. Yahweh's portion says, the water. That's right. You guys, snap out of it. Okay, once again, Ecclesiasticus, right? Because this is the book that they hate so much. When I say they, I'm talking about planet Earth. It's gonna be hard to find somebody who doesn't hate this book, y'all. Okay, you notice even in the Bible, this is comes before the New Testament. Okay, you got to realize your oppressor is the one who even came up with calling stuff the old, the new, the Apocrypha. This was never called the Apocrypha. It was just the writings. But because you guys, you're okay with taking the Gentile narrative, don't read this, don't read that, doctrine of discovery, only read this or I'm going to kill you. And we never bothered to check it out for ourselves. Even though I'm reading all of this, some of you guys out there are hearing this and you know that this is resonating with you, but you're still going to shun it. You're going to reject it because the doctrine of discovery, it is marked with you. The doctrine of discovery was made to destroy the Hebrew Israelites, and it did that. Yehoshabam says, please read Jasher 42. You'll put it down once you see it. Got necromancy on it, talking about how Joseph summoned his... Well, brother, no, I won't. You know what I'll do? I'll know that that's something that clearly conflicts with Isaiah 8 and 20, so I'll cast it out. I'm not going to cast out the baby with the bathwater. Because what if I've read the whole entire Bible? Guess what? I had to read the New Testament to find out that it was a lie. What if I would have read the New Testament right and saw the New Testament was a lie? And I've known some brothers that do this. They say, oh man, the New Testament is a lie, which they are correct. So you know what they do? They throw the whole book out, New Testament and the Old Testament. I know brothers that say, if the New Testament is lying, then it's all a lie. Although I don't agree with that, but I know some brothers who think like that. Oh, the New Testament lied, so the whole book is a lie. I'm throwing it all out. You can't operate like that. You had to decipher that the New Testament was lying, so you got rid of that. All of these scriptures that I just read out of the Apocrypha, you have nothing to say about none of those. Did you notice that? Did you notice that? When you come across something that doesn't agree with Isaiah 8 and 20, you cast it out. Anything talking about necromancy, you know we don't do witchcraft, we don't do necromancy. So you cast it out. But what are you going to, I want to ask you this. What are you going to do with all these other scriptures that I just read? I didn't hear you make a peep. What about all those scriptures that I just read? What about those? You guys, you guys playing a dangerous game out there. Once again, we stand in this book that everybody hates. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19, verse 19. Hey, the live chat is definitely living up to his name today, though. The live chat is live all the way. The book of Ecclesiasticus, the book everybody hates. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19 and verse 19. Listen up, Hebrew. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. Now look, brother, you just was saying about necromancy and stuff in Book of Jasher. What about what I'm reading right here? I see Hebrew on the island too says, I will tell you, number one, you say that, and then it cuts off. I can't see the rest. Hebrew on the island too, it cut off after you says, number one, you say that, and then it cuts off. It said, I think that's an I-Y. It cuts off right there. Maybe it's going to come fill back in with the rest of what you're saying. You guys, listen to this, Hebrew. Listen to the book that everybody hates out there. Listen to this. The book of Ecclesiastes. Write this down, Hebrew, because I know most of you guys, you never heard of this. Okay? The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 19 and 19. Listen. Learn. No. 19 and 19. Ecclesiastes 19 and 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. Now, you guys out there, be honest, you guys. Don't lie. What was evil about what I just read? This same book that people are demonizing, I just read multiple verses where it's telling you to keep the commandments. Follow wisdom, keep the commandments. All praises to the Most High alone, Creator alone, saying he doesn't want the reproof. Okay, now look, check this out. What reproof is that? What reproof is that you're speaking of? Because you still haven't answered my question. All these scriptures that I just read, and I started off reading this video, Isaiah 8 and 20. If they speak not according to the law, then there's no light in it. That's when you throw it out. The Most High, you think that the Most High didn't know that all this stuff was going to happen? You think that the Most High didn't know this? You guys actually think that the Most High didn't know that the heathens was going to take our records, even though I'm reading to you where he said it. First Maccabees 3 and 48. You guys, you can buck against this all you want. It's in here, and nobody's going to stop this from being in here. You can say he doesn't want reproof. What reproof is this when I just read Ecclesiastes 19 and 9? Many of you guys out there, you've hit a point you don't want to learn anything more. And you guys, and this goes for anybody out there who's being satisfied. Some people out there, a lot of people out there have got in their minds, hey, I got it. I don't want to learn nothing else. I only want to read something that's going to confirm what I already believe. You know what? And you guys out there, you don't want to accept these books because the Roman Catholic Church told you not to. Where's the commandment at in the Torah when the Most High said, don't read this? Show me the commandment and I'll stop reading it. Okay? Remember this, guys. Anybody who wants to hop on you so bad about doing things their way, doing what they say, but they can't show you a commandment, that's an opinion. Okay? And anybody who's on this live right now, you guys can see this live chat is off the chain today. Why is it so off the chain today? Why is this live chat so off the hook? It was because there's a spirit of wickedness in this chat, okay? There's a spirit of wickedness in this chat, and guess what? Anybody who's in this live chat, you guys see it. You can feel the energy. And look, why is there so much bucking up in this chat? Huh? Why is there so much animosity in this chat? You know why? Because we breaking out this. This is why. This chat is off the chain. This chat ain't never been like this before. It's off the hook today, though. All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone, says, bro, you throw the whole thing out. Well, guess what? You can throw the whole thing out. I'm not throwing the whole thing out. Because guess what? That same person who's going to throw out the Old Testament could also say the same thing. Well, the New Testament is a lie, so the Old Testament must be a lie too. Just throw it all out. I'm not doing that. If you want to do it, go ahead. I'm not stopping you from throwing it out. Go ahead and throw it out. I'm not throwing that out. And anybody out there who wants to find out the Most High for themselves, you be a fool to cast out something without investigating it. Long as you ain't breaking the commandments. If you guys, it's a shame that I got to keep saying this. If you keep the commandments, if you believe Isaiah 8 and 20, you don't know when you come across a lie. Even in Deuteronomy chapter 4, either in Deuteronomy 4 or Deuteronomy 6, the Most High says don't add or take away. Why do you think the Most High said don't add or take away? Why do you think he said that? Because he knew that people would do that. I'm not adding anything. But you know what gets me? You same guys out there who want to say the brothers are adding stuff, you won't admit that these people took books out of the scriptures. Can you admit that? Anybody out there want to say I'm adding stuff? Can you guys admit that these people took stuff out? Can you admit that? If not, then you don't know history. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, God only speaks through the mouth of his prophets only. All other stuff and books are not thus said the Most High and not scripture. Elder, I agree with you 100%. The Most High does speak through his prophets only. Ezra is a prophet, Hebrew on the Island 2. Hebrew on the Island 2, Elder, I agree with that statement that you just posted in there. Hey, let me read this again. Let me read this again. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, God only speaks through the mouth of his prophets only. I agree, elder. All other stuff and books are not thus saith the Most High and not scripture. I agree. But here's the thing, elder. Every time that we went into slavery, are you 100% sure, elder, that the heathens gave us back all of our books? I'm not sure that the heathens gave us back all our books, elder. There's no way to prove that. In fact, books right in the Tanakh and Torah suggest otherwise, elder. Yahweh's portion says, my elder constantly drives Isaiah 8:20 in my head. All praises to the Most High. And that's the first verse that I read when I came on here. All praises to the Most High, the elder drive that in your head. And I'm glad he drove that in my head too. I agree with Isaiah 8:20. If it bucks against the law, bucks against the testimony, I take it and I totally trash it. I disregard it. But here's the thing. I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because if I take that attitude, then I throw out the whole entire Old Testament. And I know that the Old Testament is true. Here's another thing I want you guys to think about. This is how much our minds have been molded, right? Everybody tells you the first 5 books, the books of Moses, the books of Moses, the books of Moses, right? They say he wrote the first 5 books. But anybody who knows how to comprehend what they're reading, when you read through the Torah, the first 5 books, a lot of those parts in there, it looks like somebody else wrote that book. Plenty of times in the Torah, it doesn't look like Moses penned it himself, because nobody speaks of themselves in second and third persons, which the Torah often does. How many Hebrews out there even deal with that? I've never heard any Hebrew Israelite out there even discuss that. And that's basic comprehension. That doesn't take a rocket science, you guys. Anybody watching this video, if you haven't paid attention to it, they always tell you the first 5 books of Moses, the first 5 books of Moses, because a lot of this stuff did come from Moses. But how do you know that he wrote a lot of this stuff when you can clearly read and comprehend? A lot of this stuff in here is talking second and third person. But how many Hebrews are willing to deal with that? I don't care who wrote the first 5 books. All I care is that they're true. And I know that they're true because the Torah is the only book where God's laws are found. And the Torah is the only book that told me who I was and told me all kinds of prophecies in the Torah. So I know that the Torah is true. But I just want you guys to think about that. You're so quick to accept what the masses push on you, but you don't want to do the work yourself. Because I know I'm going to die for myself. I'm going to choose to do the work. Yashabam says, if it got one lie in it, it ain't from Yah. Don't want to run to a heathen's book. No negative vibes over here, brother. Chatting with Israel in this chat has made my day. All praises, brother. And that's all good. Look, that's why I'm not bashing nobody in here, y'all. We all got a right to our own opinions. But one thing that we must agree on, we got to keep the Most High's laws. There's only the Most High, and there's only him alone. Forget the New Testament and all of that stuff. It doesn't matter. Hold on, let me see. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, the problem is that you and most all others have not passed Hebrew 101. True scriptures that should be only listened to come only from the mouth of major and minor prophets. Okay, now, elder, I have to ask you this right here. Where's the scripture that says who's a major and who's a minor prophet? Where's the scripture that says that, elder? And Ezra, is Ezra not a prophet? Ezra is a prophet. Ezra was also a scribe, was he not? So I think Ezra can speak. He's a prophet of the Most High. Ezra is all in here. Ezra was a scribe. Ezra wrote parts of the Bible by hand. He copied it by hand. Did you guys? Check this out, guys. Let me bring out another piece of information that I'm sure many of you guys are not privy to. Did you guys know that in 303 AD, check this out, one of the things that the heathens did to us. In 303 AD, did you guys know this? You guys, be honest. Please be honest. Please be honest, family. In 303 AD, Roman Emperor Diocletian, okay, issued an edict to destroy the Jews and their Bibles. Do you guys know that? Do you guys know that? In 303 AD, the Roman Emperor, these are the people who took all your records, by the way. The Roman Emperor Diocletian issued an edict to destroy all Jews and their Bibles. 303 AD. Did you guys know that? Do you know how long these people have been burning books? Do you know how long people have been burning books? Do you know all the books that they burned? Hebrew on the Island too, you says you bashed your teacher in your previous videos. Elder, I don't know when you came on this video right now. Yeah, okay, you must have you haven't been here for the whole video. Elder, when this video uploads, please go back from the beginning and watch, because that's the very first thing that I got into before I started this. All right, I don't think you was here, because if you was here, you wouldn't have said that, because you would have saw what I did and what I said when I started. But once this video uploads, Elder, please go back to the beginning and you will see what I said. Hana Yazaral says, I do recognize and agree that we still have programming to break for sure. Yes. Hey, Hebrew on the Island too, Elder, please don't forget. Because I'm gathering from what you said that you wasn't here when this live stream started. Once this live stream started, please, Elder, go back to the beginning and watch what I said before I even got started. Okay? Please do that, Elder. But were you guys aware of this edict in 303? Were you guys aware of this edict in 303 by Roman Emperor Diocletian, who created an edict to destroy all Jews and their Bibles? Did you know that he was burning the Torah? Did you know that? Did you know that it talks about it right in here? You guys, I can't make this up, y'all. I cannot make this up. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, it says that when JC dies, all men will die. Truth and lies, Hebrews, make sure you leave books like that and have things in it like that. Hold up, Hebrew on the Island 2. You spazzed out on me a few months ago because I called somebody in your chat a false priest and you thought I was talking about you and you never apologized. Waiting for my apologies. Okay. Yes, the Hebrew on the Island too. Here's the thing, Hebrew on the Island too, Elder. I mean, so many comments. This live chat is off the chain. But you know what, Elder? We're gonna come on. We're gonna come on one day. The next time, I ain't gonna say the next time. Very soon, I'm gonna come on and we're gonna do a video about what the Elder, what you're saying right here. It says that when JC dies, all men will die. We're gonna do a video talking about that, Elder, very, very soon. But my point is, Elder, please don't forget to go back when this video uploads and watch from the beginning so you can see every single thing that I said. Hanai Yasrael says, oh snap. Yeah, Howard's portion says pressure. Here's the thing, Elder. We've always been told for so long, don't read this, don't read that. For the most part, I agree with most of the things that you teach because you're a Torah Tanakh, and I believe that. I got it from you, okay? Isaiah 8:20, that's how I know. I got it from you. I know anything that bucks against Isaiah 8:20, I slam dunk it in the garbage. But anything else that I read that doesn't buck against that, I'll throw it out. Like you saying right here, it says when JC dies, all men will die. Well, I know that that's nonsense. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw it out. I'm gonna throw that out. But here's a prime example, Elder. I'm gonna throw that out. But what do I do with this right here? Ecclesiasticus 19 and 19. It reads, I'm way off. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 19. This print is so small, y'all. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 19 says, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. Sounds like Torah to me, pushing the commandments. How do I know that that's correct? Because it lines up with Isaiah 8 and 20. The Most High gave us a guide map in Isaiah 8 and 20 because he wants us to go search for ourselves and use Isaiah 8:20 for a guide. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, no, I'm not talking about this video right now. I'm talking about your previous videos that you made. Hey, Elder, this is what I got to tell you, Elder. And I hope that you believe me because I wouldn't lie about this. I'm not going to lie at all. None of my videos at all were directed at you. Only time that anything in my videos, Elder, are directed at you is when I actually mention your name. If you notice, whenever I mention your name, Elder, it's always in something positive. Anything else, Elder, I'm telling you, it literally is a misunderstanding and you're taking something the wrong way. Or maybe because of the way I said something came off the wrong way. But I'm not lying to you. None of my videos at all have I ever even spoken on you, except if I mentioned you in a positive light. At all. I got no reason to lie about that. I'm not going to lie about that because I know that the Most High will kill me if I lie about that. And plus, I got love for you and I respect you as an elder. I'm not going to do that, Elder. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, I'm not talking about this video. I get that. I know you talking about past videos. You saying you talking about past videos. And I'm telling you, even though you took it like that, none of my videos am I talking about you. Even though some things I may say, here's what I'm thinking it is. Some of the things that I say go against what you believe, Elder. So you may think that I'm talking about you when in actuality I'm not. Elder, you're the furthest thing from my mind when I'm making videos out here. When I be out here, because don't get me wrong, I go in on my channel. I go in and I tell people what I tell them. But never once was I talking about you. The only time when I'm talking about you, Elder, I make sure to mention your name. So any other time where you may have thought that I was talking about you, I honestly was not. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm telling you the truth. That's all I can say is what it really is. That's what it really is. Anytime that I'm talking about you, I mention your name. Just like yesterday. When I started talking about Todd X and I mentioned you. Because at that point I was talking about you. All that other stuff, whatever I said, wasn't directed towards you, Elder. And also, I'll say it again. Once this video uploads, please go back to the beginning and watch this live from the beginning. Even though I know you might not agree with stuff that I'm saying, but the beginning was for you. So go back, please. Watch the beginning, Elder. I don't disrespect my elders. Even if I do disagree with something that you're saying, I'm never going to disrespect you, Elder. The text, Hebrew on the Island 2 says, the text is the only apocryphal work whose author is known. It was written in Hebrew in Palestine around 180, 175 BC by Ben Sira, who was probably a scribe well-versed in Jewish law and custom. Well, look, Elder, hey, that's one strand of info. But Elder, you know, I've researched things, Elder. I can't just go off of one strand of info, Elder. That's not what I do. Just like when you told me, and you were telling the truth, when you told me it was the Most High only, I was like, oh no, this is impossible. I still believed in the New Testament. I had to go and search and find. I had to go and search and find. And then what? Because I got no problem humbling down. When I realize I'm wrong, I'm going to admit it. Just like I realized I was wrong about the New Testament, I admit it. I realized I was wrong about following JC, I admit it. Whenever I realize the error of my ways, I know as a Hebrew Israelite, we must be humble and we must repent at all times. All praise to the Most High Creator alone, says at Yahweh portion, bro. While you wrench. Hebrew on the Island 2, Ecclesiasticus writer is not a prophet and should not be taken in scripture. Elder, I don't know who wrote the book of Ecclesiasticus. Okay? But I do know that Ezra wrote the book of Ezra. I want to say he wrote the book of Baruch. If I'm not mistaken, he wrote a great portion of the book of Chronicles. You guys, I'm telling you, things are not just as easy and paced as they seem. But one thing that is easy, this is how I know when to throw something out. Easy. And it's something, and I'm talking about you right now, Elder. Yeah, I got this from you. Okay? You really made me understand what it really meant, that it was only the Old Testament only. Isaiah 8 and 20. And I'm always going to use that as my measuring stick. That's what I use. Isaiah 8 and 20. If it buck against the law and the testimony, I throw it out. Your house portion says, at Mr. Real Talk, let the chat know YouTube be shadow banning my channel and contents. Oh, yeah. Facts. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, okay. Thanks, Elder. But yes, you guys shadow banning. Your house portion does get his shadow ban. I'm sure Hebrew on the Island too. I'm sure your channel's shadow banned as well. Mine's a shadow banned as well. Here's the thing. Anybody out there who's pushing the Most High and Him only, your channel's going to get shadow banned. You're going to try to put up comments sometime, they're going to strike it down. They're going to delete comments, may kick you out, and you think that one of us may have did it when we haven't. That's the seeds of discord that these heathen, pagan, Gentile dogs have been doing for a long time. But you heathens out there, your day's coming soon. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, okay, Ecclesiasticus is not written by a prophet. Elder, I don't know who the writer of the book of Ecclesiasticus is, but I do know that Ezra is a prophet, and Ezra wrote a lot. And he wrote down a lot of copies of the Bible by hand. The next time I come on here, I'm going to go into that, how Ezra wrote down copies of the Bible by hand because of this right here. 303 AD, Roman Emperor Diocletian made an edict to destroy the Jews and their Bibles. And Ezra worked hard. Ezra was about restoring the Torah. That's what the writings, after you get to the first 5 books of the Bible, those other writings are about trying to bring you back to the Torah, trying to restore us back. Hebrew on the Island 2 says the text is the only apocryphal work. Those author is known. It was written in Hebrew in Palestine around 180 to 175 BC by scribe, well versed in Jewish law and custom, Ben Sira. And look, and also, you guys, in the year 2024, even our Old Testament Torah and Tanakh, those books are translations, family. If those books were written in their regular language, none of us would be able to read it. The Most High took our language from us, family. He took our heritage from us for a season. One of the brothers on here said, I don't accept Greek writings. I can say I don't accept English writings, but I only understand English, so I have to accept things that are written in English. That's the only thing I know how to read. You guys, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, okay? You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, guys. Look, I got to read this to you. So you know what? I can't do all this in one day, right? I kept you guys long enough. It's been 1 hour and 10 minutes. But I don't know. Let's check out a few more things. Let's check this out. Turn with me. We're going to go to the book. Y'all with me, Hebrews? If y'all still in here, hit that like button if you haven't already, Hebrew. Hit the bell and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6. Here's where we at, y'all. The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies. Sound familiar, family? Hebrew on the island 2 says, you just mentioned Ecclesiasticus, which is not a prophet. Elder, do you know who wrote the book of Ecclesiasticus, Elder? I don't know who wrote the book of Ecclesiasticus. You're saying that it's not a prophet. Can you post the scripture then? Or can you tell us, show us who wrote the book of Ecclesiasticus, since you're saying that this is not of God? At Hebrew on the island 2, please address Ed Yahweh's portion comment. Now, I would like him to address my comment. Who wrote the book of Ecclesiasticus? Who wrote the book of Ecclesiastes, Elder? Because you're telling us not to read this. So who wrote this book, Elder? Let's go to another spot. Okay? The book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30. Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. You guys, now I want somebody, be honest, Hebrews. Every Hebrew out here in this live right now or on the playback, don't this sound just like the Torah and the Tanakh? Of course it does, because this was in there. This is not the New Testament, family. Remember, this comes before the New Testament because it's not the New Testament. And this brother, all praise to the Most High, only Creator alone, says, was Baruch a prophet? Baruch did not write this. Ezra wrote the book of Baruch. So yes, Ezra is a prophet. A lot of Hebrews, you guys, I mean, look, you don't know everything. You don't know history. Yahweh's portion says, watch him say something condescending. Hebrew on the island 2 says, the Ezra in the Tanakh is the one you deal with, not the one in the Apocrypha. What says when JC dies, all men will die on earth. Truth and lies are lies. I agree, truth and lies are lies. So since I threw out the New Testament, should I also throw out the Old Testament? That's what I would do if I had that train of thought. I'm going to throw the whole book out because it's all mixed in there. They did add the New Testament to the back of the Old Testament. So if I think like that, I'm going to throw the whole book out. I'm not throwing the whole book out. I'm throwing out the part that doesn't agree with the law and the testimony. I got no problem with throwing that out. Now, Elder, you say that Ezra in the Tanakh is the one you deal with. The Ezra in the Apocrypha and the Tanakh is the same Ezra. How can you prove that they're different Ezras, Elder? Where's the biblical proof that those are different Ezras? When we went into slavery to the Greeks first, how come that's not in the scriptures? Oh, I forgot. They took it out. It's right here in the Apocrypha. Ben Sira. Elder, Ben Sira is the guy who's going to translate these things, Elder. You posted it, Elder. That doesn't make it true because it says Ben Sira wrote it. Ben Sira didn't write this, Elder. And you can say that. I don't know where you got that from. But that doesn't mean that he wrote that, Elder. Everything that we're reading today is a translation. No person out there on planet Earth has an original copy of anything. You guys do know that the Torah was translated. You guys never seen the original Torah. You never seen the real Torah. Yahweh's portion says, I think he's copying from the Sephar. That's why he keeps putting Ben Sira. Okay. I can dig that. But you guys really don't know history. Just like this one brother on here, all praise to the Most High Creator alone. He said, is Baruch a prophet? And I just told him Ezra wrote the book of Baruch. But he's not going to go and research that. He's not going to research it. Hebrew on the Island 2, Book of Baruch, ancient text, purportedly written by Baruch, secretary and friend of Jeremiah, Old Testament prophet. Yeah, that's one answer. Just like when you read in the dictionary will have multiple definitions. Just same case with this, elder. Same case. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, Book of Baruch, ancient text purportedly written by Baruch, secretary and friend of Jeremiah, of the Old Testament prophet. Yes. And just like I said, when you read the dictionary, it's not just one definition for a word. It'll be 4, 5, 6, 7 definitions. Same thing here. You can't throw out the book of Baruch. You guys out there don't even know who wrote most of these books. If I asked you guys who wrote the book of Samuel, a lot of you would just say, oh, Samuel. Whatever book is ascribed to that book, you say, oh, yeah, that person wrote it. You guys don't know. That's not how the scriptures were procured. How many of you guys knew that? How many of you guys know that just because a guy's name is on the book doesn't mean he's the author of that book? Did you guys know that? How many of you guys going to be honest out there and admit that you didn't know that? You're not going to admit it. You guys, we have not shooken off a lot of the ways of the colonizers. Doctrine of discovery. Pope Nicholas V. You guys ought to look it up sometime, so you can see where all of these talking points come from. The whole entire world says, don't read this, don't read that, don't read this. Hebrew on the Island 2 says, I am not saying they are different, Ezra. Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool. And Elder, please don't forget, Elder, once this video uploads, I want you to go back to the beginning and watch from the beginning. Whatever parts you missed, watch it from when I literally first came on. Because I could tell you came in, I was already going. I want you to come in and watch what God said at the beginning of this video, Elder. If you will. I am glad about. Anytime I get a chance to hang out with the Hebrews and we get to talk about the Most High, I like that. Hebrew on the Island 2 said the book of Apocrypha is not prophetic book. Okay, well, you can say that, Elder, but where's your proof, Elder? Where's the commandment in the scriptures in the Torah and the Tanakh that tells me that I can't read from the Apocrypha, Elder? When all the scriptures that I just read were in agreeing with Isaiah 8 and 20. Anybody watching this video, you guys see all the scriptures I read out of the so-called Apocrypha. Every scripture that I read agreed with Isaiah 8 and 20. That's how you hold on to it. Look, it doesn't matter where you read something from. If it agrees with Isaiah 8 and 20, you hold on to that. If it doesn't agree with Isaiah 8 and 20, slam dunk it in the trash. Hebrews, that's not hard. But you know what is hard? A lot of us we don't want to go out of anything that we've not dealt with before, okay? And for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, we've all been told, don't read this, don't read that. You guys won't even acknowledge the doctrine of discovery, okay? You won't acknowledge it. You want all these scriptures I read, see, like all praise to the Most High, only Creator alone. He's revved up. He only wants to know what he thinks he already knows. He can't hear anything else. He can't hear anything else. He's brought a lot of strife and contention to this chat today. And anybody who could be, I'm not picking on his brother. You guys saw the kind of stuff he was saying. Okay? A lot of people in here today were distracting you. Definitely, all praise to the Most High, only Creator alone. You were just coming in here, bro. You were being very disruptive. Okay? And check this out. I already know that we all not gonna agree on everything. Doesn't matter to me how much I don't agree with somebody. I'm not gonna come and try to cause all kind of disruption and be harsh, right? When somebody's trying to bring out the scriptures to edify, whether I agree or not. He's completely, all praise to the Most High, only Creator alone, is completely glossing over the fact how many times I told you guys if something bucks Isaiah 8 and 20 to throw it out. But he's completely glossing all over that. Some people just get, the Most High has him in that spot. That's where he's at. Just like the Most High got me in my spot where I'm at, and that's where that's at. Yahweh's portion says, my question is, if Baruch is mentioned in the Torah, can it be shown he didn't have a companion with Jeremiah in the Apocrypha? Honest question. Good question, Ak. He says, my question is, if Baruch is mentioned in the Torah, can it be shown he didn't have a companion with Jeremiah in the Apocrypha? Exactly. Yahweh's portion says, just something to try to study, but I'm not in the Apocrypha right now. But if I was, I'd be going straight to what everybody else goes against and then see if I'm wrong or right about the book. Hey, that's what I've been doing, brother. I'm studying because I know the Most High. When I have to go get judged before the Most High, I'm not going to be able to bring anybody up before me. I'm going to be the one that's going to have to take that judgment for better or for worse. So I'm going to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig as long as I'm alive, because I know we've been lied to about everything. Okay? And you guys, Ezra's in the Old Testament. That's why these devils broke this thing up and put all these labels on it. It's actually not old. There's no such thing called the Old Testament. It's just the testimony. And whether you guys want to accept it or not, whether you guys believe it or not, Baruch is part of the testimony. Whether you guys like it or not, Ecclesiasticus, the wisdom of Solomon, you guys don't have to agree with it, but you can't stop it. Yahweh's portion says, what idol name did they say recently? All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone, says, how many times do you have to something idols? Bruh, I don't know. JC? Who's talking about JC around here? We don't deal with JC over here. I don't know what the talk is about JC, but we don't deal with JC. Natea says, greetings, Mr. Real Talk. Greetings to you, Natea. You guys, I've kept you guys long enough. Okay? But before I get off, no, I have to get 2 more scriptures before I get off here, you guys. Because look, we got to put this stuff to bed. Hey, Sister Natea, have you been here for the whole live, sis? Your house portion says, what the F is going on? Laugh out loud. I don't know, brother. But let me read these 2 last scriptures, you guys, if anybody cares to stick around for this. Okay? Let me read these. Bear with me, family. Oh, Sister Natea, you're going to want to go back and watch this one. And this live was off of the chain. This live chat lived up to his name today. Well, I had that. I had it. 1 second, Hebrews. 1 second. Now, you know what? That's going to lead me into this. I'm going to be... Hebrews, the trail is too long. If I bring this out, I'm going to have to bring that and bring that. So you know what? We'll save this for the next one. Sister Natea, this was a doozy right here. Can't wait to hear what I missed. Go back and watch this. Okay? Yahweh's portion says, yo, I think this is the livest and smokiest session I've seen here. Laugh out loud. Hey, brother, Yahweh's portion, I believe you are right. This live chat This joint was off the chain. You know what? I've never seen it like this before. And I can only suspect, I can only suspect, I can only suspect that it's because of this. It's because of this right here. Okay, and you know what? I gotta read one more, y'all. I gotta read one more. Okay, listen to this. Coming out of the Tanakh, y'all. Listen to this. The book of Joshua, chapter 10, verse 13. Listen, Hebrew, Joshua 10 and 13. This is where the scriptures where you can always go, because everybody's going to tell you, don't look at this, don't read that, don't read the book of Enoch, don't read the book of Jubilees, don't read Baruch, don't read Jasher. Well, check this out. Coming out of the Tanakh, Hebrew, Joshua chapter 10 and 13. And the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? Question mark? Means the writer of this is asking a question. He's asking you, ain't this written in the book of Jasher? If you have never read the book of Jasher, how you gonna know if it's written in there? Don't take my word for it. Joshua is asking you a question. What is your answer to Joshua? When Joshua says, is not this written in the book of Jasher? With a question mark. Ain't this written in the book of Jasher? I'm asking anybody watching this video. And the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? Y'all see that? Joshua is asking you a question. Can you answer him? Can you answer Joshua if you haven't read the book of Jasher? That's my question to any Hebrew watching this video right now. Can you answer Joshua if you haven't read the book of Jasher? And then he goes to quote the book of Jasher. So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day. That's written in the book of Jasher, but they tell you don't read it. The Doctrine of Discovery told you don't look at anything outside of 66 books. Do y'all see that? I want to know, do you guys see that? And that's not the only place the book of Jasher is mentioned. The prophet Samuel in the Tanakh also mentions the book of Jasher. So you guys are going to tell me Joshua is mentioning it. Samuel is mentioning it. Two prophets, two men of the Most High. But we're not supposed to look at it though, huh? Don't look at it. Even though Samuel, the prophet, and Joshua made a statement and then he asked you a question. He said, ain't this written in Jasher? He talking to whoever's reading the book of Joshua. How are you going to answer Joshua if you haven't read the book of Jasher? Anybody's in here on this live right now, I welcome anybody to answer that question. Is there anybody on this live right now? YouTube says we got 12 people in here. Is there anybody on this live right now that can answer this question? Joshua said, I'm going to read it again. Joshua chapter 10 and 13. And the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? Question mark? What is your answer to that? Joshua's asking you a question. Ain't this written in the book of Jasher? What do you got to say to that? Is there anybody on this chat that got something to say to that? Because you guys, a lot of y'all guys think, oh, I'm just making stuff up and I'm bringing out books. No, Joshua's bringing out books. The prophet Samuel is bringing out books. Ezra is bringing out books. But y'all going to blame me. You're going to say I'm doing it. So I got 10 people in here right now according to YouTube. Is there anybody in here who can answer this question right now? I don't see nobody saying nothing. All praise to the Most High, only Creator alone. Where you at? Where you at, bruh? Is there anybody in here? Because y'all want to be so hard to bash me or bash anybody else who brings out these books. Is there anybody on this chat right now that can answer this question right now? Because Joshua was asking you a question if you read the Tanakh. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? With the question mark. So that is a question to anybody out there watching. 10 people in here. Still, nobody got nothing to say, huh? Nobody got nothing to say. When you really, here's your chance. Anybody, I'm begging somebody out there, answer this question right now. But you know what that tells me if you won't answer? Huh? Huh? Can anybody answer this? Huh? Yerushalayim says, brother, I already mentioned earlier the book of Jasher is a real book according to the scripture, but not that fake one that's going around now. Okay, here he goes. It condones necromancy. Here you go. Now he gonna say it's fake. Where's your proof at? Because we gonna pull you on the copy, brother Yashabam. You said the book of Jasher is real. You know why? Because you know you can't buck against what Joshua said. You know that would be foolish. So you know that Jasher is real. Brother, we don't need anybody to tell us that this is real. Joshua was saying it. That's enough for me. Samuel was saying it. That's enough for me. We don't need anybody else to tell us that it's real. We know it's real. And then you're going to try to come and gloss us away and steer us away from it. Oh, I say it's real. A real book according to scripture, but not that fake one that's going around. How you know it's fake? What research have you done? Have you done any deep research on your own? Of course you haven't. You're only mimicking and parroting what you've been taught, and you're afraid of knowledge. You're afraid, and maybe you're too lazy to go out and do the digging for yourself. You're going to admit that it's a real book, but not that fake one. How you know it's fake? Where's the proof at? Y'all going to stop this fool? This is foolishness right here. You gonna say it's fake? Where's the proof? And you only admitting that it's real because I backed you into a corner with Joshua 10 and 13. Straight up. I didn't back you into a corner. Joshua backed you into a corner and you ain't got nowhere to run. So now you're gonna admit, oh yeah, it's real, but not that one. How you know? Huh? You don't know. You're going off of what you've been told. You ain't researched a thing. And you know what? Because when I asked you the questions, did you even know what the doctrine of discovery was? You was quiet as a mouse. You didn't say nothing. Okay? And even with this, Joshua was asking you a question. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? You still ain't answered that yet because you can't answer it. And you won't answer it. You know why? You are actually leading people astray. You're trying to tell people to disregard what we're reading right here, and we ain't having it. Stop your lies. Natea says, thank you for making this video, brother. All praises to the Most High only, sister. Thank the Most High, sister. Thank you for being here. The Howard's portion says, Mr. Real Talk knows, laugh out loud. All praises to the Most High. Okay? I know enough to know that it's the Most High and him only. And I know enough to know I ain't gonna let no man tell. He gonna come on here and say it's fake. But you know what? He only admitted that it was real because Joshua backed him into a corner. Anybody try to come against the Old Testament, the Torah and Tanakh, you're gonna get backed into a corner. Joshua backing you into a corner, Samuel backing you into a corner. We don't need you to tell us that the book of Jasher is real. I know it's real because I know the Tanakh is real. We don't need you to tell us that it's real. Then you're going to say, oh, yeah, it might have been real back then, but not that fake one now. How you know it's fake? Because a man told you? You don't do no research. You don't do no research. Yeah, I'm supposed to say, chill out at Mr. Real Talk, laugh my AR. I'm getting tired of this, y'all. I'm getting tired of people being out here scared to go after the Most High and keep wanting to keep everybody else in. If you satisfied with what the oppressor gave you, you go right ahead. I'm not satisfied with what the oppressor gave me, okay? I'm not satisfied with obeying the Roman Catholic Church when they say, don't read this, okay? I'm not satisfied with obeying the Christians, the Messianic Council when they tell me the book of Jasher ain't real. Samuel talked about it. Joshua talked about it. I thought you was an Old Testament Israelite, Yabasham. Brother Yabasham. I thought you was an Old Testament Israelite. But you won secretly. You want to buck against Joshua 10 because you don't like the book of Jasher. You want to buck against it, but you can't. So then you say, okay, yeah, it's real, but not that fake one. Prove it. You think I'm going to believe it because you said something? Where's your proof? Where's your scriptures to prove that book of Jasher is fake? Joshua asked you a question, and I'm still asking you what Joshua asked you. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? But you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know at all. It is. Yabasham says it is real or was real. I never denied it. So how you going to say it's fake? Where is your proof to say that the one that's out there now is fake? Where's your proof? You can't just make a statement and not be able to back it up. The reason why I'm telling people to look into Jasher, because Joshua is asking about it. If Joshua, who's the Most High only, a Torah Tanakh only, is asking me, and he's asking you too, is not this written in the book of Jasher? Joshua's expecting an answer. He's expecting you to know what's written in the book of Jasher. But you're going to listen to the men when they tell you don't read it. You're going to listen to the Roman Catholic Church, the Doctrine of Discovery, because he said not to read it. And then you're going to say that I'm adding extra books. This is ridiculous, y'all. Yahweh's portion, honestly, to everybody in the chat, has anyone read the Apocrypha since being in the Torah only? I'm reading it right now, brother. I'm reading it right now. I'm reading it right now. And I made a mistake, okay? I made a mistake, which was to say, oh, only read this or only read that. Nah. You've been in captivity after captivity after captivity. And when you start reading these books, you start to see why they held it out. All these scriptures I read out of the Apocrypha today, a lot of them sound like Torah and Tanakh because they are. Okay? Point blank. Yashabam, Jasher 42 and 31, and Joseph cried aloud upon his mother's grave, and he said, oh, my mother, oh, thou didst give me birth. Awake now and arise. See thy son, how he's been sold for a slave, and no one that had pity on him. Okay, throw it out. See how easy that was? If it bucks against Isaiah 8:20, toss it out. What's so hard about that? You're making this harder than it have to be, but I know why. You don't want to learn anymore, and you don't want your brothers and sisters to learn. You've reached the point where you're satisfied, so you don't want anything else. You're satisfied with what you think is the total truth because you're not willing to learn more. That's cool. Verse 32, oh, rise and see the sun, weep with me on account of this. Verse 33, accuse my mother, arouse, awake from thy sleep for me, and direct thy battles against my brethren. Oh, how have they stripped me of my coat and sold me already twice for a slave and separated me? Look, I haven't read that. If you're reading it, cool. You know the Torah and Tanakh, don't you? If it bucks against Isaiah 8:20, toss it out. You know what? This really shows me a lot of Hebrews, Old Testament only in Torah, they really not Old Testament only in Torah. Because when they see something in the Torah and Tanakh that they don't like, they disregard it. They disregard it. Yahweh's portion says, I'm asking the people because it seems like most people throw it out when they get in the Torah only. That's exactly what they do. That's what I did. They don't even pick it back up, but they always want to go against the New Testament, but you got to read the New Testament to know. Exactly. That's what Hebrews don't want to do, and they don't want you to do it either. The only way you figured out the New Testament was a lie because you picked it up and you read, you studied. That's how you figured it out. Yahweh's portion said it's a lie. Exactly. That's the only way you're going to know is by studying it. And I'm glad he said that too. I'm glad that he said that. Because I did the same thing. When I first became Torah only, Tanakh only, I disregarded the Apocrypha. And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. That's why I picked it back up. You know why? Because I'm humble enough. And I pray to the Most High to help me to be humble and to help me to be meek like Moses. You Hebrews out there, you got to admit when you made a mistake. I got no problem admitting when I make a mistake. But this ain't no mistake right here. Okay? This ain't... Did Joshua make a mistake when he asked you, is not this written in the book of Jasher? Is that a mistake? The Most High don't change. Joshua asked you, is not this written in the book of Jasher? If Jasher was good then it's good now. And if guess what? If they did throw something in there, then guess what? See, this is how you know you guys are not reading and you only accept what you want to accept. Check this out. I already read to you what happened. The book of Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. Listen good. Maccabees, First Maccabees 3 and 48. Listen good, Hebrews. Chapter 3 and 48. And laid open the book of the law. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathens had sought to paint their likeness of their images. Okay? Remember, you guys act like you be forgetting that the Most High knows everything. That's the Most High's disclaimer. First Maccabees 3 and 48. You guys don't understand. That's the Most High's disclaimer. The heathens took the book of the law, sought to paint their likeness in their images in your books. They had your books, whether you guys like it or not. But I know you guys are smart enough to know that the heathens had your book. But somehow, you're so trusting of the heathens, you think that they gave you back all they took. That's a problem right there in and of itself. If you can't see that that's a problem, that you would think that the heathens would give you back all they stole, that's a problem right there. Joshua was asking you a question. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? What's your answer, Hebrew? Hebrew, what is your answer? You don't have a problem with me. You got a problem with the scripture. It's good enough for Joshua. It's good enough for Samuel. So it's good enough for me. And if you're following the Most High only, it'll be good enough for you. Isaiah 8 and 20 will be the thing that you filter all scriptures that you read through. I don't care. You know what? You can grab a book that you never even heard of. Drop it in the filter of Isaiah 8 and 20. If it agrees with it, then you can accept it. If it bucks against it, trash it. Because Isaiah and 20 is true. Anything that goes against it is false. Point blank. See how easy that was? But see, you don't understand the Most High's disclaimer, First Maccabees 3 and 48. You don't want to hear it. So you're going to be stuck where the Most High has you at. We're not stuck over here. And if anybody wants to be stuck, okay, go ahead and just close the books and just only accept the books that the Roman Catholics told you that you can read. I'm not doing that over here. We're going to read all of the books that the Most High wants us to read. And what book is that? Any book that agrees with Isaiah 8 and 20, even if you never heard of the book. Because you better believe. You think it ain't books out there that you never even heard of that's supposed to be in your possession, but you never heard of it. Yahweh's portion. Yashabam says, I messed with the Apocrypha for a short stint, but I figured out I didn't need it. Natea says, straight facts. Yahweh's portion says, question for the chat. What verse is the New Testament did JC quote Isaiah? Yahweh's portion says, question for the chat. What verse in the New Testament did JC quote Isaiah? Is that what he quoted, this allegedly quoted coming to free the captives or something like that? Is that the one you referring to, brother? Family, I'm just trying to get y'all to understand. It's more than meets the eye when you're dealing with these scriptures. Everything is not just sat out there in the open for everybody to find. You have to go looking. This is a puzzle, and the Most High made it that way. You got to put the pieces to the puzzle together. But guess what? You can only do that when you are fully immersed in the Torah and the Tanakh. All of it. Not some of it. Not just the part that you like, but all of it. You at least owe it to yourself to check into it. If Joshua is asking you, haven't you read it? Because that's basically what he's asking you. How can somebody make a statement that's in a book and ask you, ain't that in there? If you haven't read it. He's letting you know. He expects you to know what's in there. Not the stuff that goes against the Most High, but the stuff that's in there that agrees with Isaiah and 20. Joshua expects you to know that. But the doctrine of discovery teaches you, don't worry about that. You don't need that. That's why they put you in slavery, because you ain't need that. You don't need to worry about all those other books. Even though Joshua read it, even though Samuel read it, but don't you worry about it. No, that's not the same book as they had. Don't worry about it. Where's the proof? Because you say so? So I guess you're going to put your faith in flesh. Put your trust in a man instead of the Torah and the Tanakh. I'm going to believe Joshua. I'm going to believe Samuel. But I've really been on here way longer than I planned, family. I got so much stuff I got to do when I get off of here to get ready for captivity, amongst other things. Thank you for hanging in here, family. Tav X, purity and becoming one. Israel, if you found anything of value in this video, hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. If you've been in here for this live, you guys have witnessed something today. I've witnessed something today. I've never seen it this live over here. The house portion says, don't trip. I'm setting up something to let them answer it, Ak. All praises. The house portion says, so everybody got something to say about the Apocrypha, but they don't know where to find the lie they was told in the New Testament. Wow. Yeah, that's a telltale sign, brother. See? Can't make this kind of stuff up. But you guys, like I said, I've never seen this chat like this. This was the livest live stream I ever seen. This joint was off the chain. If anybody just coming in now, definitely go back and watch from the beginning. You're going to want to watch this one. I'm going to definitely make sure this video uploads. Again, Hebrew on the Island 2 Elder. I don't know if you're still here. If you are, please go back to the beginning and watch the beginning of this video. This beginning of this video was for you. Anybody else on here? I'll say Tav X, purity and becoming one. May the Most High have mercy on you all and bless you all. Yahweh's portion says, apparently, like I write. Yahweh's portion says, apparently, like I write, most of your people don't read. They go by men's perception. Like I thought. Facts. Yeah, absolutely right. Most brothers and sisters, they're not willing to read. They're too lazy. They're just going to hear somebody say something and they're going to run with it. I tell y'all all the time on here, do not believe a word that I say. What if I'm just like your pastor? Then that means I'm going to be lying to you. Don't believe me. I could be lying. That's why I tell y'all to write these scriptures down. Go back and do the digging and the reading on your own. Because I'm not going to be able to die for you. When you go stand before the Most High, you're not going to be able to say, hey, Mr. Real Talk said this and said that. The Most High going to say, don't you got eyes and ears? Don't you got hands? Can't you pick up a book and read for yourself? But somebody, they told me not to read this. And the Most High is just going to probably look at you. I can only imagine what the Most High is going to say when you try to tell him, oh, so-and-so told me don't read that. My pastor told me don't read those books. And then I guess you're going to have your pastor to blame because you're putting your life in another man's hands. I'm not going to put my life in any man's hands or woman's hands. You know who hands I'm going to put my life in? Yahweh and Yahweh only. That's the one thing that we must agree with around here. Scrap JC, Buddha, Allah, all of that. Yahweh and Yahweh only. Keep the Torah, keep the commandments, learn the commandments, teach the commandments to the best of your abilities. Yahweh's portion says, oh, and Tav X isn't a phrase. It's Tav, not Tav. And one more thing. X isn't a letter or song in any language besides English. I'm not trying to start crap, just giving edification. All good, brother, Yahweh's portion. That's what we want around here. We want edification. We want knowledge. We want wisdom. We want the ways of the Most High. We want the ancient ways, the old paths, the same ways that Joshua traveled, the same ways that Samuel traveled. Moses, David, Ezra, Baruch. Those are the old ways, guys. That's what we want. Tav X. Purity, becoming one. May the Most High smile upon every one of you guys out there and have mercy on you. And may he be with you in your day-to-day life. On the next one, Hebrew Israelites, Tav X.